Hello and welcome to the P&Z show. I am Peyton and he is Zemir. We are going to bring you your college football edition. And Zemir will start off with the most important postseason award in my mind, and that's the Heisman, and who our contenders are.
I personally think Braxton Miller is the top of the list just because he led an undefeated Ohio State team last season, and he's probably one of the most polished quarterbacks other than Teddy Bridgewater, who led Louisville to the Sugar Bowl last year against Florida and played a pretty good game. What about you?
I'm going to shock some people with this one, and I think he's a little bit of an underrated name, but he's my dark horse here. I'm going to go with Duke Johnson at Miami. The guy's an explosive player. He's a great return man. He busted 3 or 4 kick returns for touchdowns last year. He's a running back with a lot of skill, speed, and power. He's compact. He's playing in a great offense with Stephen Morris there. I think he's got a legitimate shot.
You don't question the coaching or anything, the fact that they haven't been doing really good. You know, the offensive line is so-so.
Well, I personally think Al Golden's a pretty strong coach right now. The problem is with the allegations, and it's so cloudy with the corruption and the investigation. And you can't really tell. They were on a self-suspension last year. I think the penalties will be minor. They'll be able to play for a decent bowl game, maybe a Champ Sports Bowl game like that. Okay, moving onward, we get to our teams that are going to be a good team this year, maybe not as good the year before. I got my team, the Vanderbilt Commodores. James Franklin's done wonders for that team in the last few years, putting multiple players into the NFL, getting to multiple bowl games. They went 9-4 last year. They were actually the hottest team in the SEC at the end of the year on a 7-game win streak. And they got the best wide receiver duo in the country, Jordan Matthews and Chris Boyd.
Personally, I think Kent State, just because they have one of the most explosive players in college football, and Drake Archer, who did everything for Kent State last year. He played a little bit of running back, a little bit of receiver, kick returner, punt returner. He was like, the Percy Harvin of Kent State, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I like to compare him to Tavon Austin. I think they're much alike in skill set. And then we have to come to the all-important who's going to win the BCS National Championship. It's been SEC dominance, but a lot of people feel Ohio State has a legitimate chance this year.
That's my pick because Ohio State has one of the best coaches ever to coach in college football. In Urban Meyer, you have Braxton Miller, who is a monster. I think personally he's going to win the Heisman this year, as I said earlier. You have Carlos Hyde, who's a monster running back who just run you over. Devin Smith, who had an amazing catch last year. One of the best catches I've ever seen, one-handed grab. And then the defense is pretty good. It's solid defense. And, you got NFL coaches on there, Mike Vrabel. You got Urban Meyer, like I said earlier. I just think they're personally going to win, my personal opinion.
I agree with you. Not necessarily in the national championship pick, but Roby is my frontrunner for the Thorpe Award this year. I got to stick with the SEC. It's an obvious pick. Come on, Alabama. They've won 2 national championships in a row, not to mention the one that they won with Ingram. They've got a staple of running backs every year. They have players like Yeldon, Richardson, Lacey, Ingram, and now they got a throwing game. That defense is going to be more solid this year with much more experience. My only concern is the offensive line, and they've got the recruits to be good this year. Now we're going to start taking some callers. Our number is 755-55 at the P&Z show. We'll start with Jalen from Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
This is Jalen here. What do you think about the Dallas Mavericks getting Monte Ellis?
I think it's very, very strong. Monte Ellis is one of my favorite players in the league. Honestly, he is the best scoring 2-guard other than maybe a Kobe. And, yeah, that's about it in my mind. I think he's a great fit there. He'll fit with Nowitzki very well.
Yeah, like he said, he's a pretty good player. Only doubt is with him is how he maneuvers. Like, he's not a team player. He's more of a self-centered type of guy. But that's my thought on it. Think it's time to wrap it up?
Yes, sir. I think it's time to wrap it up. I think we've had a very good show. See you next week on 760 The Fan. This has been the P&Z show. Seeing you tomorrow.